Mario is kind of hard. This is what I learned when I tried to beat Super Mario Bros. For the first time and it nearly took me 10 hours to beat.
Oh! Did I just do it? No way!
The reality was that I just sucked. I wanted to do an experiment where I would do exactly 100 speedruns of Super Mario Bros. To see how good I could get. This is how it went. So the Super Mario Bros. Any percent speedrun consists of only 8 levels and isn't normally a long speedrun, as the world record is only 4:54 by Nifsky. But the problem is for me is that I wasn't Nifsky, I was Sci-Fi, and I was really bad. So 5 minutes quickly turned into 10 minutes, then 20, then 40, then 80, and eventually, an hour and a half later, I finally beat my first run.
Doesn't matter! It doesn't matter! He's dead! Yes!
At this point, it was gonna take me 146 hours, 43 minutes, and 20 seconds to do the 100 runs, which was not ideal. The reason why this first run took so long was because of the game overs. You see, in this game, you start with 3 lives, and if you die 3 times, you get a game over, and you're sent back to the start of the game. Now, this wasn't all bad, because it allowed me in my first few runs to really learn 1-1 up to 4-2, as nearly all my game overs happened in World 8. 1-1 was as simple as any first level in any game. You start by getting the mushroom if you want, which I did because I was very much still a noob. Then you go down this pipe, through this room, and you're pretty much done. 1-2 was more of the same, but it did have some cool strats that we'll get into later down the line. But this was also where our first warp pipe was, taking us all the way to 4-1. 4-1 was perhaps the easiest level in the whole speedrun. It's basically just you running through the whole level while Lakitud drops spiky things on top of you. 4-2 was one of the most important levels in the early stages of my runs, as it became my strategy not to get any power-ups in the earlier levels and get both power-ups here, which I needed for World 8. Then I would hit this vine block, which would take me up to a warp pipe that finally brought us to World 8. This place was tough. 8-1 wasn't so bad, especially with flower power, but later on when I'm doing runs as only small Mario, it definitely gets harder. 8-2 is best described as chaotic. It starts off with 3 enemies coming at you, which isn't too bad with flower power. The bullet bill section wasn't too bad as long as you didn't fall in. But now onto the part I really didn't like. The paratroopers. These paratroopers were in random spots every time and caused me a lot of pain. And then it was on to the hardest level in the game, 8-3. This level was basically just 3 sections. Hammer Bros Section 1, Hammer Bros Section 2, and then there was 4 Hammer Bros at the end. With my limited game knowledge at the time, this level was really hard as small Mario. If I got lucky, I could get past the first 2 sections, but the last 4 Hammer Bros would kill me every time, so I pretty much needed flower power for this level. And then there was 8-4, the final level. 8-4 is tough. It starts off with us needing to get past this lava, which there's multiple ways to do it, but for now we're going to do it the safe way. Then down this pipe, hit this invisible block, and then down another pipe. Then we run over here, avoiding the cheeps, into the water section. Then we swim past the bloopers and fire bars, and onto the last section. There's an annoying hammer bro here, but if you run off the pipe and jump, you will land on him every time. And finally it was time for Bowser. You basically had 3 options here. Hope he jumps forward so you can run under him, jump over him, or wait for him to jump and then run under him. So at this point I'm 4 runs in, and my PB is only a 45.01, which is terrible. So I decide I'm going to watch some guides, which I probably should have done from the start. But I decide to watch Darbian's 2-hour guide and Cosmic's 40-minute guide. Shout out to them, great guides. And in my next run, I smashed my PB and got a 7:39. It was my first run where I didn't get a game over. I played to stay alive and not go too fast, and it worked. My first 10 runs were basically not speedruns. I was trying to get good enough to get through a whole run without dying. But by run 11, I had started to implement some new strats. The first one was in 1-2, where you jump on this Koopa and just follow its shell. Then I just stomp on this Goomba. I also started jumping through the piranha plants in 4-1. Their hitboxes were much smaller than you think. I was still getting boat power-ups in 4-2 and slowly getting through World 8. But I managed to finish this run with a 6:37, which was less than 2 minutes behind the world record, which doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, it is. Every frame matters in this game. But now it was on to my best run yet. A run that I was actually proud of. Run 17. Oh. 6:08. This was definitely not a perfect run, but I had no major mistakes and was definitely the cleanest run I had done. Now, I wanted a sub 6. The problem I had now was that it was going to be really tough to beat this time with the way I was playing. So I had to make a major change. It was time to only play as Small Mario. This would save a lot of time. Using Flower Power Mario was a good bit slower because at many points to play it safe, you would slow down to shoot the enemies. Now, this came with a lot of growing pains. If you took any damage, the run was over. This made World 8 a hell of a lot harder, and it was already really hard. But specifically, it made 8-3 so much harder. The Hammer Bros on this level were absolute snipers. For the first 2 sections, I would just go to the top and hope they weren't there. The final section, though, is where most of my runs died. You see, the Hammer Bros had what felt like a 50-50 chance to jump. This killed me a lot. The actual strat to get past them was to let go your jump mid-air so you'd be falling downwards, which would mean even if the Hammer Bro jumped, you would still kill them, because as long as Mario is going downwards, you always kill the enemy. This applies to pretty much every enemy in the game. The problem was, I sucked at this, and this was going to be a problem for all of my 100 runs. I also started doing my first wrong warp. This is actually a very easy trick. Normally you would go down this pipe to get to the water area, but you can actually trick the game into allowing this pipe to bring you there. You simply run past this pipe, which loads the water area, then turn around and go into the pipe, and this saves a bit of time. Finally, 15 runs later, with a bit of luck from the Hammer Bros and almost getting assassinated by a cheap, we got our sub 6. Oh no! Oh my g- Holy shit! Oh my god! That was insane! Oh, I can't believe it! I can't believe it! What did I just do? Oh yes! What a way to get my first sub 6! This was the last time I was happy. For a long time. It wasn't until run 67 that I would get another PB. In those 35 runs, the only things that changed was I had a much smoother 4-2, a better start to 8-2, I was much better at the first 2 sections of 8-3, and a bit better at the last section. I also started jumping over the lava section in 8-4, and finally I had a faster swimming strategy. And combine all that with just slowing down a lot less in general, I was able to get a massive PB. Oh my god! I just got the run! I just got the run! At this point, all I wanted was one more PB. I got a bad Bowser at the end, and there was a couple little mistakes I could clean up, and I knew I had it in me. And sure enough, 16 runs later, I got just that. A slightly better World 8 and a faster Bowser. I'd done it.
Yes! I did it! I did it! Holy shit, I did it! I actually did it! That was perfect! That was the perfect run. I don't think I'm beating that. I do not think I'm beating that. That's it, I did it.
I was happy. I had reached my peak. I felt as though I had played to the absolute best of my ability and gotten a time I was really happy with. And that was it. These runs took a long time to do, and I was just happy that it was coming to an end. I was on run 96, and I was just thinking about the fact that I had started with a time of 1 hour 27 minutes in my first speedrun, and I had gotten it all the way down to a time of 5:23. Then I realized I was 0.6 seconds faster than my PB at the moment. Good entry.
Yes! A 520! I don't believe it! Oh, I can't believe it! I can't believe it! I actually can't believe it! Oh my god! I can't believe it! How did I get a 520?
Because I'm a god gamer. See you in the next video.